Good news, guys. Ripple has scored a win in the SEC court fight over XRP. By the way, BitBuy, a top Canadian platform, just quietly relisted XRP, making it the second exchange to reintroduce support for the asset after initially delisting it. Also, Coinbase, Kraken, Gemini, and other exchanges. Finally, have you ever thought about the motive behind the SEC attack on Ripple? Well, I will be reviewing that with you. Stick with me till the end to find out more. Hello everyone and welcome to our channel, where we talk about the latest updates on XRP and the cryptocurrency world in general. If this is your first time watching one of our videos, we happily send you a special welcome. We invite you to hit on the notification bell so you never miss another video. We are announcing that this channel has a giveaway of 200 XRP. To stand the chance of participating, all you have to do is simply subscribe to the channel, like this video and comment with the hashtag XRP, and the winner will be announced tomorrow. Ripple scored a partial victory in its fight with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission in a court ruling that brought a modicum of regulatory clarity for the cryptocurrency industry. The sale of Ripple's XRP tokens on exchanges and through algorithms did not constitute investment contracts, the U.S. District Court of the Southern District of New York ruled Thursday. But the institutional sale of the tokens did violate federal securities laws, the court said. XRP rallied on the news, and crypto exchange Gemini said it might now list the token. Early reads from legal experts suggest the ruling falls short of settling the question of whether and under what circumstances a digital asset meets the definition of a security under U.S. law. Under Chairman Gary Gensler, the SEC has contended most of them do, and thus that they require issuers to go through a lengthy and expensive registration process before selling them to the public and exchanges to register as broker-dealers before listing them. The industry has maintained that it is ambiguous how laws written during the analog era apply to an asset class born on the internet. The court published the conclusions in an order partially granting a motion for summary judgment in the seminal U.S. SEC case against the blockchain platform. The regulator in 2020 filed suit against the firm and its executive CEO Brad Garlinghouse and co-founder Christian Larson, alleging failure to register XRP as security before offering around $1.3 billion worth of tokens. According to the order from the U.S. Court for the Southern District of New York, Ripple first sold around $728.9 million worth of XRP directly to institutional buyers, hedge funds, and other parties. These institutional sales constituted the unregistered offer and sale of investment contracts in violation of federal securities law, the order said, as it found investors would have purchased XRP with the expectation that they would profit from Ripple's work. Ripple used the funds it received from institutional sales to promote and increase the value of XRP by developing uses for XRP and protecting the XRP trading market, the order said. The SEC's motion for summary judgment was granted by the court as it applies to the institutional sale and otherwise denied. The programmatic sales of XRP through exchanges and algorithms did not qualify as the sale of securities because the SEC cannot definitively say speculative investors had a reasonable expectation of profits to be derived from the entrepreneurial or managerial efforts of others. There is no evidence that a reasonable programmatic buyer, who was generally less sophisticated as an investor, shared similar understandings and expectations and could parse through the multiple documents and statements that the SEC highlights, which include statements, sometimes inconsistent, across many social media platforms and news sites from a variety of Ripple speakers with different levels of authority, over an extended 8-year period, the order said. Larson and Garlinghouse's own sale of XRP falls into this category, the order said, along with other distributions. Ripple's motion for summary judgment in lieu of programmatic sales, other distributions, and Larson's and Garlinghouse's sales was granted. Another motion by the SEC for summary judgment on an aiding and abetting claim against the two executives was denied as the court deemed it is not clear whether Larson and Garlinghouse knew or recklessly disregarded that securities laws, rather than laws under other regulatory regimes, applied to XRP. We said in December 2020 that we were on the right side of the law and will be on the right side of history. Thankful to everyone who helped us get to today's decision, one that is for all crypto innovation in the U.S. More to come, Garlinghouse tweeted following the order. Please, do not forget to subscribe to our channel and also hit that notification bell to be the first person to get more updates about the latest happenings as regards to XRP. As the Ripple versus SEC legal battle draws closer to the end, the XRP community has continued to advocate for the relisting of XRP on platforms that previously delisted the asset. Recently, BitBuy, a leading Canadian exchange, became the second to do so. Although BitBuy's decision to delist XRP over 2 years ago came with an official announcement, the move to relist the asset was done quietly. In a recent tweet, Mason Verslois, XRP community influencer and founder of Gold Squad, first drew attention to the move. A quick look into the exchange's mobile app shows that the platform now supports XRP, with trading features reinstated. In addition, BitBuy recently updated its legal crypto asset statement to reflect that it now supports XRP trading. Expectedly, the development has sparked favorable reactions from the broader XRP community. Some Canadian-based XRP proponents confirmed that they have successfully purchased XRP on the platform. BitBuy originally listed XRP in March 2019. However, the exchange announced in December 2021 that it would delist XRP on January 13, 2022. The removal of the asset occurred a year after the SEC sued Ripple. In its announcement, BitBuy disclosed that the move was due to its commitment to Canadian regulations. The exchange confirmed that it would react appropriately when things change. Accordingly, the recent relisting of XRP has triggered conjecture that the exchange might know something about the upcoming ruling. BitBuy's decision to relist XRP comes amid growing speculations that the final ruling for the Ripple case might be at hand. Previous predictions of the end date failed to materialize, leading some proponents to worry about the delay. However, attorney John Deaton recently assured the community that the delay is not unprecedented and there is no cause for alarm. The Ripple CTO David Schwartz noted the same thing, asserting that a ruling could come by September. Notably, BitBuy is the second exchange to relist XRP before the final ruling on the Ripple case. Another Canadian exchange, Newton, became the first platform to relist the asset in November 2022. The XRP community has primarily focused on Coinbase, America's largest exchange. The community has repeatedly called on Coinbase to relist XRP. However, the platform has not responded favorably to this demand despite agreeing with Deaton's argument in the SEC lawsuit. In March, Paul Grewal, Coinbase chief legal officer, disclosed that the exchange would not automatically relist XRP even if the final ruling is in Ripple's favor. Grewal disclosed that Coinbase would first need to evaluate the situation. Amid this uncertainty, Uphold has retained support for XRP. Also, Coinbase, Gemini and Kraken will relist XRP. Now to the big question of the day, why did the SEC go after Ripple? Please, do not forget to subscribe to our channel and also hit that notification bell to be the first person to get more updates about the latest happenings as regards to XRP. As the lawsuit between the SEC and Ripple approaches its end, top crypto stakeholders have been commenting on how the case outcome will impact the industry. Stephen Thomas, the co-creator of Interledger Protocol, is one of the latest industry stakeholders to speak on the topic. In a recent interview with Thinking Crypto, Thomas said the lawsuit's outcome will determine how the SEC will treat the U.S. crypto industry. He noted that it is unsurprising to see more industry players back Ripple as they now understand that the lawsuit's outcome affects everyone. According to him, this was already clear to him from the beginning. Furthermore, Thomas stated that the SEC only became interested in crypto after the 2017 initial coin offering wave. According to Thomas, whether XRP is a security would not have emerged before 2016. Thomas said he experimented on Google to understand if XRP security status was an issue before 2017. Per Thomas, he searched for the phrase, "Is XRP a security?" on Google to find any material about the topic before 2016. Although the results showed 2 hits, Thomas said the articles were misdated from 2018. Thomas, who worked at Ripple as CTO, said no one bothered to ask whether XRP was security on any online forum before 2016. Notably, industry leaders regard 2017 as the year of the ICO boom due to the numerous crypto-focused initial coin offerings conducted that year. These included ICOs from Polkadot, Tezos, EOS, and Filecoin. These ICOs captured the attention of global regulators. Interestingly, Thomas asserted that the development suggests the SEC came after XRP due to the actions of these other crypto projects during the 2017 ICO wave. And I thought that was very interesting to me, because it is not because of what Ripple did or the XRP community did that the SEC came after XRP. It was because of what other people did in other projects that prompted the agency to go after XRP, said Thomas. He added that the idea of the SEC going after Ripple because of the actions and inactions of other crypto projects leaves a bad taste in the mouth. Thomas said the SEC was wrong to go after Ripple. However, he claims not to have any ill will against the commission. Thomas said he hopes the regulatory agency loses the lawsuit against Ripple when Judge Analisa Torres issues her decision. Meanwhile, the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit is expected to wrap up before the end of the year. Many legal experts, including John Deaton, have been predicting different aspects of the ruling. As reported earlier, Attorney Deaton predicts Judge Torres will comment on XRP secondary market sales in her upcoming ruling. He also speculated that the SEC would lose its case against Ripple executives Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson. Per Deaton, the recently released Hinman docs will impact the case against Ripple execs. So we come to the end of this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please make sure you like the video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. This really helps me with the YouTube algorithm. Also, you can help enlighten others just like you have been enlightened by sharing this video to as many people as possible. Let's get this news everywhere, guys. If you are a true cryptocurrency fan, don't miss any of our content. See you tomorrow to talk about the latest news that concerns us all as a community.